Guys, there we go, there we are. Aloha, lads and gents. Welcome back to a new episode of A Sense of Capital. Oh, it's perspective time, but that's actually wrong. I need to quickly check and change the setup because it's Insights time. There we are. Your host of today, as always, is Julian. And guys, it's currently 7 p.m. in Germany. The weather is quite nice. People are everywhere around me, let's say it like this. I parked my car somewhere in nowhere, but still there's a lot of traffic going on, so I will keep it quite compact for today, especially because I guess I crossed very much the original target of 1 hour 2 days ago with the live stream to cover Alfen stock and the current news which occurred roughly a week ago. However, guys, today it will not be that much about insights about Alfen. Don't worry, guys. Today it will be about my very own investment portfolio, the stocks I'm a shareholder of and the company I'm invested in. And guys, before we jump in, as always, in the upcoming minutes, this will not be financial advice, consultation, or whatsoever, and there is no guarantee of any correctness of the provided data. So make sure do always your own decisions based on your own due diligence, research, and evaluations. That's basically like it is. So, guys, I mean, let's jump into the presentation. And actually, I don't want to start with this one. I want to start with that one. And as you can see, today we talk about the investment portfolio update of July 2024. What does this mean? That already the first half of the ongoing calendar year is gone. First 6 months are covered, and I can just say in terms of stock investments, it was quite an actionful year, a very interesting year, but I can already tell right now it was not the most successful investment year of my career. It is how it is, but guys, that is what I will focus later. So stay tuned. You can see already here into the upper part of the sheet the stocks I was a shareholder of in the past 30 days. So you can see Alfen from Netherlands, GITLAB from the US, Grab from Southeast Asia, HIMS from the US, New from Brazil, SentinelOne from the US, and last but not least StoneCo, which is located as well in Brazil. And so, guys, let's go on and jump to the first sheet with true information, and that is the activity sheet. What you can see here, the only activity which took place was an activity which was more or less bland, and it was an investment in the DevSecOps platform provider GITLAB, which is located in the US. You can see that I invested roughly 10,000 euros or $11,500 US into the stock. It was 100% leveraged, and maybe I share my screen to show you quickly what this company is actually doing. Yeah, because I guess GITLAB is not that popular for most of you, as long as you are at least not involved into software projects. Let's say it like this. But if that's the case, I guess it's not that unrealistic. You are. Let me see if you can see my screen. So there we are. There we go. As you can see here, so basically, what is GITLAB? GITLAB is a company which developed a platform which is called as well GITLAB, and this platform is getting utilized by different kind of stakeholders. So persons or companies who are involved into software projects through the whole life cycle of of the software project, which means you can see it here at this illustration in the planning process, creation process of the software, verification process, packaging process, deploying, so rolling out the process, and then when it's live and it's getting utilized, the monitoring process. And yeah, so basically it's unlimited, eternal procedure when you can use this DevSecOps platform, which is provided and developed by GITLAB. Basically, it's a SaaS company, and you need to know that that regularly in the software process, not only in the software developing process, but in all these different kind of process steps of software projects, a lot of different kind of people are involved, or let's say in general stakeholders, and you need to somehow involve them and manage them. And on the other hand, and that's way more crucial for the success of this kind of platform, a lot of different individual software solutions are involved, yeah, and to synchronize them or even remove some of them out and design the overall process more efficient in terms of cost, in terms of time. The platform of GitLab is definitely the way to go. And what is the reason why I invested it? I mean, there are different ones. I mean, again, one more time, I 100% invest it on leveraged debt capital, so it's quite risky, risk-affine, in considering that it's a SaaS company, it's an AI company. That is already two reasons why I like to invest in it. Before, two months ago, I wasn't invested in SentinelOne, and next to this, I was an owner of 5 different companies, but none of them had this high SaaS, digitalization, AI focus. And I simply wanted to participate, and I simply was for a longer period of time looking for companies who are fitting in this, and I guess this was one I liked. What I liked about this, we can for instance take a look at the Magic Quadrant of Gartner. Some of you might know it. That's an illustration or a research result of a research company which is called Gartner. They are publicating this kind of research results each specific period of time, let's say it like this, a few years, and then again a few years afterwards. And you can see here basically all the different competitors of GitLab. GitLab is quite in the top right square or quadrant, however you want to call it. And you can see it's structured in different kind of attributes. So the top right are the leaders. So best in class, basically, leading in terms of execution abilities and in completeness of vision. Yeah. So basically, how good is their product portfolio or their services, and how good they can roll it out and execute it. Yeah. Those are the both major metrics, and you can see out of this different kind of categories for the different vendors are existing. And you can clearly see there's a strong gap between those 3 leaders and everyone else. Yeah, that must be the case. Yeah, there are other like cybersecurity ratings and research results by Gartner, and they are way more close to each other. And you can see that they are very strong in executing and roll out their solutions, and still very strong in terms of the product itself, how well it is developed. And there's only Microsoft very close to them. Microsoft is purchased a competitive solution which is called GitHub, so very close in perspective of the name GitLab. But GitHub is owned by Microsoft and was again acquired a few years ago. And so they are rolling this really strongly out with all the synergies and all the connection they already have as a big enterprise. So the fundament is, let's say, it's basically stronger in this regard than GitLab, but GitLab is just 100% focused on their platform. Yeah, nothing else, not left, not right. That is their business. Yeah, and Microsoft, why they purchased it? Of course, first of all, it is when you want to refer to the gold rush area, whatever San Francisco back in the days, not sure, 18th century maybe, not sure when the cowboys have been present and the railroads get rolled out in the past, not sure when it was. But so basically, when you compare it and you always say, in this kind of gold rush periods, it's not good to be someone who is searching by yourself for the gold, or you invest in the people who are searching for gold. The best is you sell, or you invested in the companies who selling shovels, the tools for digging and doing the job to find gold. And that's, from my perspective, a little bit the same with this kind of solution. Yeah. So GitLab, this platform today, digitalization, high tech, AI, all these keywords, you need software. Software is more than ever required, basically, and the fundament of a lot of which is located in our environment nowadays. And so GitLab is performing or providing the tool basically to plan, design, create, roll out, and maintain and monitor those softwares. Yeah, and so that's an amazing, and that's for Microsoft, of course, interesting. So that's one reason why they invested. They invested basically in the future by acquiring GitHub, the competitor of GitLab. And another reason is that they use it as a door opener for other businesses, basically. Yeah, so they combine it with basically, for instance, with the cloud services, and by doing this, yeah, so synergies and more network effects getting utilized and digged. And Atlassian is more the legacy player, let's say it like this, and I guess GitLab and GitHub or Microsoft overtook them really with a little bit more momentum, and now creating more and more gap. And not only Gartner, Forrester, it's another research company, is sharing basically as the opinion, as you can see here. And here the gap is, or the results, even more impressive for GitLab. You can see the only leader which is illustrated here is GitLab. There's another player active in the sector which is CloudBees. You can see here, for instance, Microsoft is quite far away, and yeah, Atlassian as well. So I mean, two different research houses, two different results in terms of different kind of companies, but what they both research houses and the results have in common, that both times GitLab is a leader and really pushing as a leader in the front. Yeah, so that was definitely a big aspect for me, why I was interested in this company. Another one is that they are a little bit like Adobe. I was in the past shareholder of Adobe, and what I liked about Adobe is really the unique, strong positioning, which is really rare nowadays. This kind of mode, let's say like this, what a lot of investors are looking for. But what comes in hand with this kind of positioning is what you can see here as well. It's not the only reason why that's the case, but one of the reasons is this unique positioning is the ultra high gross profit margin. You can see it almost 90%. Yeah, so I mean, compare it to Adobe. Of course, the net income margin is a whole nother level. GitLab business is comparatively new, and it's really creating more and more momentum, even though the revenue growth year by year or year on year decreased a little bit, or decreased quite strongly the past months. But maybe it's because of current economical conditions, at least the management stating it like this. But however, you can see here by taking a look at the gross profit margin that there is definitely a good fundament for stepping really into the footprints of the big brother Adobe. Yeah, so that was another reason. One more reason is, for me, it's really creating a lot of value. I mean, you can check out by yourself the information, but there are research studies that by utilizing this platform for the customers, they enhance their ROI by the software's solutions by 400%. So everything gets way more quicker, more efficient, cost-wise, time-wise. It's just let's say like this, from my perspective, an honest business, and it's land and expand. So you can start being a customer of GitLab without any euro, just a free solution with limited access to different kind of options and software add-ons. And then when you're interested, you get more and more, and actually you can even add a package which is AI driven, and then when you're, for instance, you are a coder, you're a developer, software developer, and you're coding, the AI, there's a chatbot, and the AI is suggesting you solutions or ideas how to finalize different codes and this kind of stuff. Yeah, so really true AI. It's like this. In general, the sector is growing, as you can imagine. And last but not least, the last aspect why I invested in this is basically they partnered up with Alphabet and cooperating with Amazon to a little bit strengthen the position of Alphabet and Amazon and themselves against the competition Microsoft and their services like cloud business. Yeah, so I think Microsoft Alphabet is the shareholder of GitLab with now 7%, and I think they just increased their stack at GitLab a few months ago, not that long ago actually. So all of this have been reasons why I purchased GitLab. And here you can see, wait, you can't see it. I need to go back to the PowerPoint presentation slide deck. Here you can see it. These are my current holdings. So actually, guys, nothing too new beside the GitLab position. Yeah, and the GitLab position affected my holdings in this direction, that it raised from roughly $101,000 to $108,000. So we will take later a look on the performance, but performance was not the reason that it's $7,000 up. It is because I basically invested in GitLab, and you can see that the share of the US stocks I'm currently invested in getting larger and larger. But I think that's just that's natural when Hims and Hers developing so strongly, like in the past months. And on the other hand, you're purchasing SentinelOne and GitLab, 2 US headquartered software companies. Yeah, so 61% of US share is the result of it. Okay, guys, let's go on and coming to the valuation. When we talk about the valuation, what you can see here is, first of all, I mean, I added NVIDIA and I added PayPal as references. I had the feeling that when I use this valuation sheet, that it's not completely, or you're sometimes missing, okay, sounds like a lot of growth, what new has or whatever, which kind of company is stated here, or the PE whatsoever. But I guess sometimes there was a different or an additional explanation required, and that you get the feeling, okay, how strong is it? Because again, I mean, the end result of it is for me this, what you can see here, position in the middle of the sheet, the fair price multiplicator. That's the end result of my calculation, let's say it like this. That's the reason why it's a little bit, the letters are, or the numbers are a little bit larger from the size perspective. And you can see that now you can compare it very easily to other companies, and it's not about multiplicator. That means that Alfen is 6 times worth the price which it's currently rated at. That's not the meaning of this. But you can compare it to other companies, as you can see here right now, to NVIDIA, a digital one, and the PayPal, a financial one. And actually now I have a software stock. Actually, GitLab is not stated here. Later on, I will tell you why not. That will be quite surprising for you. However, I will show it to you later, explain to you later why GitLab is not integrated at this table. However, you can see that Sentinel is, for instance, a software-driven company, so NVIDIA is very interesting and NVIDIA is very popular to compare to it. And on the other hand, PayPal, I mean, StoneCo is a financial stock, New is a financial stock, Grab has kind of attributes of a financial stock, so I guess both are quite popular. NVIDIA, some people think, oh, it's so expensive whatsoever. I don't share his opinion, as you can see here. For me, it's almost fairly priced. Yeah, let's say it like this. In PayPal, a lot of people say PayPal is such a cheap thing, man. It's just a bargain, and I don't see it like this. As you can see here, it's more or less, for me, the valuation is same, because my valuation grants my valuation approach grants high prices and high ratings for high revenue growth and profit efficiency. Let's say profit ratio is not that rated highly by my tool. So that's the reason why an NVIDIA with a very, very high revenue growth is always rated a little bit more favorably, like a PayPal company, which has a higher profit focus. However, I mean, the message of the valuation sheet of today is, you can see it on the first glance, more or less all of the shares I'm currently owning are priced on a not too cheap level. Hims and Hers is still for me kind of a buy, even though in the past 2 months the stock price increased heavily. I think still it's for me my favorite position for sure. You can see it, it's ranked on position 1. On the other hand, if I would not be invested in it, I would still buy it. Let's say it like this. That's my personal message. Yeah, but of course everything up to you. Make sure that you do your own research. Yeah, and Alfen is if the assumptions are right. I already stated it two days ago at the live stream, which was 100% focused on Alfen. If my assumptions are right, Alfen is the only stock I'm currently a shareholder of, which is cheap. If the assumptions are right with sales growth and PE ratio, and yeah, you can see it there. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. Let's go on with performance. And in terms of performance, guys, I already need to be very strong to not start crying. I mean, you can see Alfen almost kind of hurts when you take a look at all of the 3 illustrations. Yeah, so yield per month, it's negative more than 50%. It's a little bit covered by the logo of Alfen, but I can tell you it's 53% basically yield per month because of the strong drop. Again, make sure you check out the video if you're interested to get further information what happened and what are now my thoughts and my opinion about the current situation in the stock and the potential. So yeah, very heavily. What is really nice to see is the SentinelOne. I mean, I'm now an owner for roughly 1 month, and it had really a great start with 25% up. So that's an amazing. Another story is that StoneCo, new is always growing each month. Basically, they are a little bit up. It's crazy. Yeah, really like a train, choo, never running out of coal and out of fuel, and just running and pushing forward. And StoneCo, actually, the other Brazilian company I'm a shareholder of, is doing exactly the opposite one. So they are, as you can see here, yield year to date, they are dropping month by month at the moment. Not that bad. I mean, I actually invested already in $1,500 I think, more in StoneCo, so better, cheaper prices. I'm still convinced by the stock. Not bad for me. I mean, it started since Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway is not invested anymore. I guess that's not by accident. However, I don't take this too much in my calculation and consider it and ignore it more or less. That I don't care if Warren Buffett is invested or not. Let's say it like this. It's not the only reason, but somehow since then it drops. Yeah. However, and then last but not least, I mean, GITLAB had as well a great start, but more into Grab. When you take a look at Grab, no matter if you take a look at yield per month or yield year to date or even yield since acquisition, because I just purchased it end of last year, one of my more new stocks I'm a shareholder of. It's quite stable. And I mean, Grab management, I guess that's the major reason. Grab management stated the year as a gap year. They want to set a higher level on profit, rolling out their financial services. And so I guess the market, investor market, is really waiting for some signals, yeah, to give it a new rating and push it upwards or downwards, basically. Okay, what else? Let's go on to the second page of the performance. And yeah, guys, I already stated at the beginning of the stream, I'm not too convinced by my performance, not at all. And I mean, it's reasonable. I mean, when you take on the monthly performances, not that bad. But when we really take a look at year to date, it's basically 50% less than the benchmark ACWI-IMI. So basically a worldwide ETF or index. And so I achieved 7%, so at least it's up, but it's of course just color red because compared to the benchmark is covering or reached 14% year-to-date yield. Yeah, so you can see it as well at the chart. If you compare, it's a little bit small, but if you compare the big fat striped ACWIMI line and compare it to the single stocks, value single stocks, the fat purple one, you can see there's definitely a large gap. I guess it's almost 10,000 US dollars. Yeah? I mean, sometimes you lose and sometimes you win. It's part of the game, part of the story, part of the hobby, and part of this how you want to call it, this field of expertise. Yeah, and I'm not sure if that makes sense. Yeah, to you. It's part of the game, and in the I guess two past years I performed out the benchmark, and now I'm not doing this. But however, guys, it's just the first half year is done. Yeah, let's see what the second half of this calendar year brings for in terms of performance to both the benchmark and my stocks I'm a shareholder of. But I guess one potential advantage I have, or my stocks have at least, is I guess they are quite interest rate sensitive. So as soon as the Fed and the ECB and the silage rate in Brazil, for instance, the rates getting lowered and lowered, then I guess small cap stocks, and I'm a small cap investor, basically they are higher, or regularly should be more higher affected than large cap stocks. So let's see. What is about my mood? Yeah, you can see a goal, or how you call it? Goal? No. Gate, I guess. Gate is gate correctly, and the soccer ball or football. So basically everything but boring. I mean, honestly, guys, it's a little bit awkward, and you can see I never pushed this bar, this stress relaxed bar, into the middle. It was always more positioned at relaxed and not stressed. It's difficult to state why that's the case, but I honestly can just tell it is the case. Yeah. So basically, I mean, again, boring, but somehow not boring. It feels like, hard to explain, but it feels like I own most of the shares now. I guess 4 out of the 6 or the 7 I'm currently a shareholder of. I own in more than a year, and I know it's not too long for some of you. However, and it feels it feels almost like I know them. Of course, I don't know them. I'm not an insider. I'm not even an employee or whatsoever. But you're getting just used to it, and and it's a good feeling. And it's a good feeling that you somehow feel comfortable. But on the other hand, you think sometimes so much about those stocks, because I don't have a large watch list, as I mentioned. I just had on my watch list SentinelOne and GITLAB, and now I purchased them. So there's not so much to do. I mean, I watch a lot of other stuff and make research about other companies and stocks, but there is not truly a watch list existing. Yeah. So for instance, I was interested in Snowflake, but I will very likely never be an owner of Snowflake, but this is a different story. But I guide it or back it always very accurately. However, sometimes you get bored and you think sometimes I need some new driver for the investment portfolio. I need some new. Not sure how it is. Maybe it's sometimes it's not other parts of the life. I guess it's sometimes the same. I guess you can relate to this kind of feeling, and I guess I just need to overcome about this feeling of need something different, just based on the principle. Yeah, I guess it's dumb. I mean, I decided to invest highly focused, very consequent, in just a handful of number of stocks, and that is one of the side effects. And yeah, I just need to stay strong, even if it sounds a little bit awkward and ridiculous. Yeah. However, but however, it's still a lot of action. You can see the development of Hims and Hers 1 month ago was crazy. Yeah, with this GLP-1 weight loss product they launched. Yeah, so it's exciting. On the other hand, period, I get hit strong. Then SentinelOne, on the other hand, was a great result in the past 30 days. And then again, on the other hand, oppositely, Alfen dropped by 50%, more than 50% in just 1 month, and since beginning of the year 70%. So I guess it's not without all action, you know. There's definitely some stuff going on at my portfolio, and I guess you can be sometimes a shareholder of 20 large cap stocks like Kellogg's and Procter and Gamble and Unilever and LVMH, Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, or whatever. And maybe there is not so much volatility going on than my portfolio. So I guess it's complaining on a higher level when we talk about kind of being bored. Yeah. And I should never forget that I'm working now. I was working till last month with debt capital lever of 25%, and now I have more than 32%. And now it sounds awkward, but you will see it. This time it's not a regular debt redemption. I planned to do a non-regular debt redemption. Yeah, you can see here it crossed $35,000 or 32% of leveraged investments. Still, I'm the opinion it always depends in what kind of assets you are invested in, what kind of companies. Yeah, and as long as you feel comfortable, okay. However, some stuff is going on in my professional life as well, honestly, which is not too negative. However, it's something what I need to consider and what is part of my calculation and evaluation process, how well I feel. And on the other hand, I just simply had the feeling, and that sounds really awkward because at the first 5 minutes of this update, I promoted it actually, but I already sold GITLAB. Yeah? For those of you who are following me on social media or X, Instagram, Reddit, or here on YouTube community function, you have very likely already realized that I purchased roughly 1 month ago GITLAB, and I sold it on Monday. Actually, I sold it to be a little bit more financially stable in general, but as well to purchase further shares for StoneCo and especially for Alfen because of the drop. And it was not like I purchased it primarily because of this. Honestly, guys, it's sometimes really hard to catch it in words. But when I purchased it, let's say like this. I give one argument, and the rest I will state at the next investment portfolio update. But what I can tell is, in general, and I give you more details why I did this. I give this in the next episode. But as soon as I purchased it and I was an owner, I felt not comfortable anymore about being invested in GITLAB. Yeah, it is how it is. I still, you can see, I can still talk very positive about it. And actually, I've sold it and I did whatever 5 or 10%, something like this, so I even not lost money. But I simply didn't feel too comfortable. And I guess it's more up to me than up to the stock or affected by the stock. Yeah. So don't blame the stock. And if you are interested, do further research. I mean, there's not so much information available about GITLAB, but if you are interested in the SaaS company, in this kind of gold rush shovel company, of course it's not cheap or whatsoever, but you like SaaS, you like AI, digitalization, this kind of stuff, might be interesting for you. Might be interesting to you, and we are still in a comparatively relative new stage, early stage. And the last what I want to state it is, for me, as always in this kind of period, I mean it's almost the last investment portfolio update before it's getting serious in terms of earnings results. First one will be, let's go back to the holding chart. You can see it here in the almost last column, earnings date. The first one will be Hims and Hers. It's currently dated on 5th of August, so roughly in 1 month. And yeah, so for me, and all the others will follow. So for me, it's actually a little bit the calm before the earnings, yeah. So the calm before the storms, yeah. I'm already preparing myself mentally, like I always do it like this. I as well need to start to do a little bit preparation work. I will very likely stream another video of a roundup of the last earnings results with my thoughts in the past weeks about those results. And so you are perfectly prepared if you are an investor of those stocks for the next earnings calls. So I do it anyhow for me. So why not doing a stream about it? I mean, a lot of stuff what I'm doing here, I would just do anyhow. For me, of course, the design and creating it in informational packages which are convenient, where you can be convenienced. What is it? Which are simply to consume. Let's say it like this, yeah. So of course that's something extra work what I do for you guys, yeah. However, I like to do it, and yeah. So, but ever this preparation work, I do it anyhow. Yeah. So stay tuned for sure. Stay tuned for the upcoming earnings results. I'm strongly looking forward to them, especially Hims and Hers. I mean, I have roughly 40,000 euros or 44,000 US dollars invested in this company right now. Or I'm not invested that high, but it's just my largest position with 40% nowadays. And so I decided to not sell anything. I want to figure out how strong GLP-1 kicks in, what will be the effect on cross-selling, if there are effects in the new subscribers, what will be the overall effects on revenue and on profit, and if there are maybe some plans for international expansion because they hired a new employee to the management board, which has high focus on internationalization. So that's something what I definitely don't want to miss and want to be full invested. But however, I guess therefore it could be, or it might be very emotional call, which will take place. However, guys, thank you so much for joining in. As promised, wasn't that long, of course wasn't that short as well. Originally my target a few months ago was this kind of episodes should not cross the deadline of 10 minutes. Very likely I will never cover it in 10 minutes. It is how it is. I guess, or I hope you anyhow appreciate this format, this input and this content. And guys, if you do, then please feel free to subscribe to the channel, feel free to subscribe to social media, feel free to leave a like, yeah, leave a comment, send me a message if you like. Always interested in having conversations with you guys. And as always, take care of yourself. Health is highest prioritization, I guess, in life. And yeah, enjoy it, and see you latest in the next Insights period, but Insights time episode, but very likely already earlier, yeah guys. So stay tuned. Cheers, I'm out.